In a 600-player tournament dominated by order decks, one player took the Knife Cat to a first-place finish. Today, we are taking Prismaticism's first-place Rengar list out for a spin. I watched his deck profile, tried to absorb as much information as I possibly could about the deck. I've also played it a little bit in previous sets, but we're going to go ahead and see just what makes this deck so powerful. Hopefully, we don't play against any Purple Vex. But first, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, we are queuing up Prismat's Rengar deck to see just what we can do with it and just how powerful it is. One thing I do want to pay good attention to is like the +1 ability on Pride Stalker. I think that's a very important ability to use properly, so we'll see if we can do that. We do get to go first here, very fortunate for us. Double Kaisa, a Noxus Hopeful, and a Rampage. I do think Rampage is pretty good, especially into his theoretical Stellacorn Herders. Obviously, it's not as good into his Green Akali there. I don't think we need Double Kaisa, and Noxus Hopeful without a real way to actually play it over the next couple turns is pretty rough. So I think I'll mulligan like this. We unfortunately don't hit a 2-drop. That's very, very rough. We will have to pass off that. I do remember in the deck profile, Prismat mentioned how good Pocket Cub was. He'll pass on turn 1 too. Okay, so I think we just got lucked out a little bit. So this is a pretty easy develop Kaisa. We'll go ahead and pass. I do like having the protection of both Punch First and Thrill the Hunt. I think that's pretty good. Stellacorn here. So he has the ability to defy our Rampage. That is definitely not the greatest thing ever, but I think we'll start with a free Conquer here. So we get a draw there, just get a little bit more information. Okay, so I could go for a Sabotage into a Rampage. If he defies, I'm happy with that. If he defies on the Sabotage. And if he doesn't defy and I get to see his hand, I get some more information. So I'll be pretty happy with this one way or another. Falling Star, Shuriken, Charm, Discipline. Okay. So the Rampage is free, and then I get to develop a Hopeful as well. What's the biggest problem here? A lot of my units actually play out of Falling Star, so I'm not as worried about that. Shuriken Flip gives him a bit of Accelerate, but he can flow it, though. He could flow and play Akali at the same time, but then he can't Charm, so I think it's probably the Shuriken Flip. Oh, actually, Sabotage puts it on the bottom of the deck, so there's no flow going on here. Man, look at how they future-proof Sabotage by making it anti-flow. That's incredible. All right, so for 3, we're going to go ahead and rip the Rampage. That's going to be 4-3. Pretty easy kill. We'll go ahead and drop the Hopeful into the Star Spring to bring the Kaisa back. This way, ideally, we can go ahead and conquer the Void Gate on the following turn. Not too scared of Falling Star. He could just develop Akali in base and pass. Would be good, but not the end of the world. We also have the Punch First to back anything up that we need to. He has the Discipline, which we have to be aware of, and the Double Charm as well. So he's definitely not short on removal. He is a little bit short on green runes, though, which I am always happy about. He will fully tap out to empower the Legend. Okay, makes sense. We'll go ahead and hold here. We can bring this back. I mean, I like the idea of going up with Kaisa for a draw. The thing is, though, with his Empowered Legend, he has the ability to punch over a Kaisa with a hidden Pocket Cub. I do, again, have the Punch First to back things up, though, so I do kind of like that. I think first we can just go over here with Kaisa to draw. A First Mate, we can actually just bring it back to complete safety. I do like that. And if I play First Mate and Kinku, I can end up still holding up one for Punch First. He can beat Punch First, though, with his Legend. I'd have to go for a hold to beat Punch First, realistically. Or to beat his Legend ability, I should say. So, what's the best way to do this? Oh, I did not mean to press that. So, I think we play a Kinku Initiate. We get a draw here. Some more information. I honestly could be pretty happy about leaving up 4, because then I can Nidalee and Punch First. That seems kind of good. So, I think we'll go with that. Rip a Falling Star. That kills Kinku Initiate. And that does 4 damage, or 3 damage to Kaisa. Oh, it's on Void Gate. Okay, yeah, no, that's a problem. Do I rip a Thrill here to get more points? I think I will, actually. He can defy that. Yep, that's totally fine. Completely fine. That is 4 damage because of Void Gate. I did forget about that. We'll see if he ends up charming the Noxus Hopeful. He has crunched his runes down pretty significantly, though. He'll move up to Star Spring. That's fine. He does want to go for the charm, so this comes up here. Now thinking, because I am the attacker, I can go up to 9, and he would realistically go up to 8 if he uses his legend ability. He does have a discipline, which would get him over to 10. Honestly, if I can just get a Rengar into this Akali and kill it, I'm pretty happy about that, and I need him to use the discipline in order for me to do that successfully. I don't need him to use discipline, but that means I just wouldn't have to use a punch first on the next attack. So I think this is my way. So yeah, he'll have to fully commit here or just let me... So I do get to score that because that showdown's going to end. Discipline, yep, he'll swing over this for 10. That's fine. Yep. But now, unless he drew an On Guard, I should be pretty good to just drop a Rengar there. And Rengar's actually going to be a 7 because of my legend ability. Shuriken Flip. Ooh, moves it back to base. Good play, good play. Deal 2, and then move a friendly unit. Very solid play. I know he has another charm in hand, so I have to be a little bit careful of that. He's really low on runes, though. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. All right, so what do we develop here to get the most bang for our buck? I'm on 4 runes, or 4 points, rather, so I'm in a very good spot. I could go something like Fey Folk. Can't really target the Akali, so that doesn't seem amazing. 2 3-drops isn't the greatest either. Should I save Kinku Initiate for a draw and try to hide the Pocket Cub? Could just hard play Nidalee, but that doesn't seem as good either. I could also hold Nidalee for him charming me, right? So this will be a 4. Just remember, just try not to forget my Pride Stalker ability. I think I just double develop here. And it's probably the Pocket Cub, because if one of these lives, I can pull off the Star Spring double conquer play. This comes back down to 3. We'll see what his main play is. He has kill on one of these with charm. We know that. He can flow the Shuriken Flip to get his Akali back to safety, but he's really nuking his runes if he does all that. Gonna tap for 4. Could be a development turn on his part. Stellacorn Herder, okay. Kind of makes me wish I played the Fey Folk, but that's fine. Alright, so cool thing is I can play all of this, or not play all of this. I can do the first mate play and then hold up for Rengar. That's kind of cool. I could also just double conquer and then develop as much as possible in my base. That's probably also pretty good. So if I go here, and if I go here, kind of just let those guys die, and I can develop 3, 5, and I can actually bring one back, which is probably the best thing about it. So we'll go 1, 2, 3 for first mate. These are both just 3 might attackers at this point. Doesn't really matter. Probably bring the Pocket Cub back because Shuriken Flip could actually snipe it. And then 1, 2 for a Noxus Hopeful. And then on the next turn, I'm going to have a total of 10 runes, which means I can play Nidalee and Rengar. So I should develop the Irresistible Fey Folk. And we'll pass. This should be a pretty secured win. Go ahead and drop Mask of Foresight. This will be swinging over that. That's perfectly fine. Oh, so actually this is not dead yet. That's okay. We still know he has a charm, but he can't kill everything in my base, so I think we're good here. Falling Star would hurt a little bit, but honestly not that much. Alright, Akali's going to swing over this for 6. Perfectly fine. 7 actually because of Mask of Foresight. I do have to account for that in the swings. He does draw Falling Star. That hurts. Definitely can't say it doesn't hurt. He'll kill the Fey Folk. Makes sense. Okay. Tapping 1, charming the hopeful. And Stellacorn goes there. Kind of just hoping for no hiddens. That would be the most ideal. Okay, so Rengar should swing over this pretty effectively. What's the best thing you can do? That would be an On Guard to go up to 6. So I should play Rengar and pump himself. Right? Alternatively, I can do something over at the Akali battlefield. And I drew this first mate. So that actually lets me swing multiple locations with Rengar. So I guess I should do Rengar over here. 5 over here, and this is going to be a 7. And we pass focus on that. So we go to 7. 1, 2, 3. First mate here. We'll just pump this first mate just because, and we'll go over here for 11. GG. All right, game 2 with the Rengar deck. We'll try a different battlefield just because we're not playing full matches here. We're up against Ambessa. I also got the choice of going first again, so we'll take that, luckily. Going with our mulligan options here. No 2-drops, so we know we're sending 2 back. I don't have a good way to play hopeful, so we have to send at least 1 back. I do like the idea of keeping Rampage to maybe kill an early Kale, so we can definitely throw back a Darius here. And we miss on the turn 1 play. Hopefully we get there on the 5th draw. We don't. Okay. We draw Ferris Forerunner, though, which is pretty good because we're up against a non-purple, non-LeBlanc matchup, and we just pass like that. His turn 1 play is looking like Noxian Emissary. All right. Now, what's our best turn 2 looking like? Right now, it's looking like Hardcast Noxus Hopeful, which is not awesome, but I think that's what we have to do in this situation, I guess, right? Go hopeful here into a turn 3 Ferris Forerunner. Yep, can't stop that. He's going to be able to empower for an energy, reducing the cost by Risen Altar. He can pull it back with his legend if he wants to, although I think he's probably okay with it dying here. Pay 3 for Kale. Okay. I think we're in a good spot here because of the challenge. I don't know if there's a 1-cost spell that he can use to get out of that. I don't think that there is. So if this is his turn, I'm actually going to be pretty happy with that. It means I can't play Forerunner on 1. Ooh, the Sabotage. Good play. Good play, good play. I think he maybe should have done that before playing Kale, but I think now he has to take the Rampage. Yep, makes sense. Put that in the bottom of the deck. What I could do, though, is I can still go up to Risen Altar and drop the Ferris Forerunner and make it really difficult for him to get on this battlefield. So we'll go hopeful here. Now, if I drop that, that's 10 might. Punch first gets him up to 8, so it's still not even enough to really kill my units there. So I think we go like this. We'll give the +1 to hopeful for this turn, not that it really matters. And we will pass back. I guess now we could trade with Punch first because he has 2 tokens, but he would still need another pump spell on top to deal with it. He may have to use some empowerment in his base, which keeps him off the Risen Altar. And then I still get to make my tokens if he kills all this. So I'm not too upset if that's the route that he decides to go. I also have Rengar for any clapback shenanigans. Like, if he uses a punch first here, I think I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so we are going to use 3 to empower the Kale in the base. This now forces a trade with punch first into my battlefield. All right, token's going to go up to Emperor's Diaz. That's perfectly fine. Going to go ahead and pay 1 power. Hide a card over at the Diaz. I imagine it's a Hidden Blade. Probably wants to get some draw power going. Tapping another 2 and a power. Public Execution. So Kale will go ahead and kill the Hopeful. Sure, that's fine. Definitely hurts that I don't have a way to kill that Kale right now. So I hold here to 2. Now what are my main options? I could first mate the Forerunner over to the Recruit. We'll probably Hidden Blade to draw 2 cards, but then I have Thrill the Hunt to punish some movement on to the Risen Altar, so that might be a pretty good play here. So we'll go ahead and pull this back. We'll go ahead and first mate, giving the +1 to Forerunner. We'll swing over here for 7. Pass focus. It is going to be a Hidden Blade. He will kill his own unit. Makes sense. We will score there to 3. Now, I could sabotage him and actually rip a punch first. That's going to make my Thrill the Hunt play pretty good if he brings Kale over here. I think we'll go ahead and return the favor on the sabotage. All right. We have a Rampage. We have a Tactical Retreat, which actually would be very annoying if you ended up protecting Kale with that. And then 2 units. So we'll go ahead and take the Tactical Retreats. I don't really care if he Rampages the first mate in my base. I think that's fine. And we will pass like that. So if he goes for a second in power in base, that would bring him up to a 7. I would match him over at the Risen Altar. And right now, as far as I know, he has no pumps. He has 1 new card that I didn't see yet. He could preemptively Rampage and then pay the power, I guess. But I don't know if that's a great play. And I still have the punch first capabilities too, right? So I think I do want to rip this. Bring the Ferris Forerunner over. Give it +1. Now it's 5 to 7. I think he's in a really rough spot here. Ooh, the Kale's going to die. I'm going to score. That's really, really tough for him. All right, Recruit's going to go over to the Diaz. That's fine. Tapping 4 for an Ambessa. And then 2 for a Legion Marauder. All right, so we're going to hold over at the Risen Altar. That's great. We're going to go ahead and swing. Well, that's actually pretty good because I can actually use Diaz pretty effectively. We're going to go ahead and swing first mate over here. I will go ahead and develop a token. Bringing the first mate back to hand. First mate is just super useful for next turn. Now, what am I developing here? Definitely a Pit Rookie. I guess we'll be buffing the Ferris Forerunner. That gets +1 from Rengar's ability. So next turn I'll be on 9 runes, which means I can Rengar, first mate, and punch first. So I think I'll keep the 4 open for the Thrill of the Hunt here. That could just honestly win the game outright if things go well. I think the one thing I probably trolled on is that I think my buff would go away if I used Thrill on the Forerunner. So that's a little weird, but that's okay. Now he should have 2 cards in hand that I don't know about. Yeah, it looks like he wants to go ahead and empower Ambessa. All right, he's going to go there. I mean, if he gets over this Forerunner and he commits to doing that, I'm not really that upset about it. Right, so the buff goes away, but it is going to get +1 from the Thrill of the Hunt. And I also have the punch first to back this up. So, all right, he'll rip his own punch first, bringing this to a 12. resolves. That's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my own punch first. See if that ends up being a trade. Yep, but I do definitely win out in this exchange because I got the tokens. Go ahead and make these 4s. If this was a red matchup, that would be actually really, really relevant for Falling Star. This game definitely showcased the power of Thrill the Hunt, that's for sure. Yep, he's going to go and conquer there. That's fine. I don't think he's got many options, really. And our opponent in the chat is going to let us know that's going to be GG. So yeah, definitely a pretty good back and forth game there. I think I definitely just edged out on top in a couple of situations. But let's go ahead and see if we can play a third one. All right, game 3 of the Rengar deck. We will try the one battlefield we have not tried yet. We are up against a Lucian. Okay, so you've always got to be thinking about the Skyfall of Arian plus Triforce combos. It's definitely very scary. This is not a deck I have a lot of experience against, at least in Vendetta format. So we'll see if that ends up coming to bite us. We have Fae Folk. We don't need 2 of them. I do like the Inferna, but I think Nidalee is just a little bit of a better ambush unit at this point. So I think I'll mulligan like this. Okay, he'll play a Fae Folk of his own. Yikes. All right, so if he equips to this, obviously he just kills my Fae Folk for free. Does that mean I don't want to play it at Fae Folk? That's pretty rough. He does have Star Spring, so we could imagine things like Nidalee maybe coming down. If Nidalee does come down, that's offering a trade if I played Nidalee here. This is a rough spot. So a lot of times Fae Folk turn 1 is kind of just GG's, but yikes. Is it really just better to play nothing here? Is that actually just the better play? Let's try it. I don't see a world where a unit that I play survives here. So let's see if we can try to slow things down after the fact. Paying 3, 4. A Kaisa here would definitely hurt. Paying a power, actually. All right, so the Fae Folk is going to move to the Star Spring. That's fine. He could play any number of units to the battlefield directly to get his Fae Folk back to safety. Okay, if he goes for double conquer here, I might actually be in an okay spot. All right, he has one open. Obviously, I'm sweating about punch first. To play around punch first, I'd have to use my Rengar right now, which feels really bad. But for as long as this Fae Folk survives, feels like I'm in a bad spot. However, the Fae Folk doesn't have an effect next turn as long as he doesn't have like a first mate or something. So maybe this is just a really good development turn. Go 2 for Fae Folk, 2 for Hopeful. It's probably the way to do this. I've given up a lot here. Him being on 4 points is really, really bad for me, especially with the draws he just got from Seat of Power. But if these 2 units on tap, I think I could be okay. Let's see. Paying 3. This could be the Chosen Champion. It's going to be a Kaisa. And a Sabotage. This is lit because I have nothing for you to take, my friend. We do love that. All right, Star Spring. I want to kill so many of these units, but I think I have to kill the Fae Folk. The Fae Folk's just going to pick apart my board. So if I go like this, Fey Folk to Fey Folk. Let's see what his main play would be. Let me ask him if he's using effect. All right, so he's going to decline the Fey Folk effect. I think I'm going to go with an Inferna here to preserve my own Fey Folk. We'll see if he wants to commit a punch first to this. All right, so the Fey Folk is going to go down. That's great. We'd love to see that. We have Noxus Hopeful coming in on this side, which is going to let me draw. Now, I could leave 5 open for Rengar, but he doesn't have his Fey Folk anymore, so I think I need to develop Kaisa here. And then I have a bunch of ambush in my hand for the following turns. So we'll go ahead and pass it back over. We may have just stabilized this game, but not fully convinced yet, to be honest. He's going to score to 6. I'm going to have to keep him off the battlefields. That seems like it could be a very difficult task. Obviously, he has an easy take on the Star Spring side, but he's going to have some kind of pump, which he's playing red-orange. That shouldn't really be too big of an issue. Going to go ahead and pay 3. Pendulum Blade. I really, really like this card. This is a 3-cost equipment. You equip it for 1 red. When I move to a battlefield, give me +2 might this turn. This is really strong. So, yep, first mate clears this for free. Paying 1 to equip the blade to Kaisa. Yep, that kills Hopeful for free. Question is, what's he going to develop in his base, and can I kill it if he does? Draw 2 on the Seat of Power is so strong. Challenge. That could legitimately be the nail in the coffin. We'll see, though. One open for punch first does not look good for me, but let's see. This is a 5, potentially a 10 with punch first. I can beat that with Rengar plus Nidalee. Okay, so I think we're okay here. Do I have to go to any particular battlefield first? I definitely can't charm the Kaisa, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go Rengar here. Unfortunately, I have to give up a Seat of Power draw. I have to do it this way. See if he has punch first. Yep, he will rip the punch first. That's perfectly fine. I will respond with a Nidalee. I don't think there's a reason not to split the power. So you can't kill both. Deny me a draw or kill my bigger unit, whatever you prefer. All right, he'll kill the Nidalee, prevent a draw. That's fine. I'll conquer this to 3. And I think I really want to pull over the first mate because I can't allow him to untap with a unit, right? Like, I basically am putting him on half Kaisa, I guess. So we'll Fey Folk, pull over to the Seat of Power. Yep, he'll kill the rabbit. That makes sense. And then, yeah, we pass like this. Hopefully this stabilizes us a little bit. We'll see. All right, tapping 4. Question is, what are we playing with that for? All right, so he wants to go for a development turn. I do think that's very, very smart on his part. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, this is such a rough spot. I don't know if I have to go for holding both or holding one. Getting Darius into this battlefield will be very, very hard. Maybe we have to just go for holding 1. And then by doing that, I can maybe also develop for the Star Spring, but this Fey Folk is going to be a huge problem, to be honest. All right, so Inferno's horrible on defense. So I think we can just go ahead and develop this and then leave open 7 for double Nidalee. Might be our best option, to be honest. Do I have to keep this in the battlefield is the question, because he can potentially just like pull me over to one side and accelerate here to win the game, right? Man, that's so rough. I think I just have to rely on Darius to get to the other side if I can. Yep, that'll go to 7. Doesn't matter though. I think I just need the body here because of the Fey Folk. I think I just need to like insulate from charm a little bit, but I don't know if that actually matters at all. All right, 3 coming down for a Kinku Initiate, getting a draw. That's perfectly fine. Another 3 for another Pendulum Blade. That's a lot of might. That is a lot of might. This is what we call cascading, where like even if he brings in Kaisa and like it dies, he still gets to put a ton of might from equipment onto like the Fey Folk, which is going to be hard to deal with. But yeah, that's all good. All right, recycling 2 reds. We are putting the Pendulum Blades onto the Fey Folk. So that's going to be a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 6, 7. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 9 from Assault with the Legend. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So passing focus, I'm assuming, right? So I am a 7 here. So, I mean, this is really my trick. Play Nidalee for 5. So I'm at a total of 12. All right, his choice on who he wants to kill. It's going to be the Inferna and the Nidalee. Sounds good. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I can beat this Kaisa by doing the same thing. That's going to hurt a lot. He has to float 2, though, which I'm going to love if he doesn't have a 2-drop here. So this is 4, 8, 12, dare I say. Yeah, I don't think I can beat that because I would be 6, 10, 11. Question is, do I just bring Rengar back to hand? Probably, right? Because on defense, this is 6. Yeah, I think bringing Rengar back to hand could be pretty good. Alternatively, that's also my way to activate Darius. So does it matter? Darius versus Rengar? I think this is probably okay. He does get to draw 2. Actually, only draw 1 because he doesn't control the other battlefield. Pretty good for me. I really hope these 2 energy are going to waste. That would be awesome. Yikes. Fey Folk probably secures things. That's the 3rd Fey Folk. Oh, man, that's rough. All right, let's see what we can do here. This is, I think, just going to have to be a Darius play. Darius into 1, 2, 3. For a Nidalee that I have to play to base, I think. So Darius swings over top of that. I do have the punch first. That's a really good top deck, to be honest. So let's see if it gets us there. These Pendulum Blades are just too strong right now, to be honest. He can only equip 1, though. That's actually huge. Okay, this is actually big brain gaming now. He can only equip 1 Pendulum Blade. So he has to go about this turn very intentionally. Fey Folk. No effect, right? Yep, he's not using the effect. I can't do anything about that. So he gets a draw there. And if he takes Darius battlefield, he wins. He also can't like accelerate Kaisa. He couldn't play a Darius and do like these Pendulum Blade things. So I might be in a good spot because of that. 3 and a power. Oh, no. Yep, that's game. Yep, right. Because that's going to be 5. Wait, 5 to 5, right? Ah, okay. He has the long sword to make it a little bit bigger. Yep, that's GG. That's a very good game. Very, very good game. Very close one. I think we still got to see some pretty cool stuff the Rengar deck could do. You also got to see how Irresistible Fatefolk on turn 1 is kind of just GG. But hopefully you guys enjoyed these games. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the Rengar deck. Let me know if you think I misplayed anywhere. I'm sure I definitely did. Give me your strategies for going into Fatefolk on turn 1 going second. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one.